so much, Ertuğrul Galeli. See you next time in the pitch. Thank you so much.
If you're in the Philippines, come out, come support the league, support your local players, come support the foreigners.
Thank you for support Manila Tigers, and next time ulit, kung merong oras, punta kayo sa stadium. Thank you.
Thank you sa mga Mindiola, yung mga nanonood dyan, mga supporters, sa mga nanonood din sa YouTube.
Yeah, let them keep coming and supporting. We will make them proud.
Oh, thanks everyone and Wantagig fans and other things for coming and watching.
Sa lahat ng Kaya football fans, sana tuloy pa rin kayong sumuporta sa amin. Hindi lang sa Kaya fans, sana sa Philippine Football League dito, sana supportahan niyo po.
Tara, Cebu!
It's amazing here. We have to keep coming, keep supporting every club, every supporter. We have to go together.
To all my Mahalika family, yeah, thank you for the continuous support, everyone.
To the fans, I think this result is just for them. I think they are coming up to support us. I think we are giving all the best that we can so that they can come a little bit more.
Thank you all for coming. Hope to see you next game. Thank you.
We cannot go without the fans. We will always be there for them, to make them happy, to score, to win game week in, week out, so that they will be happy watching us and coming to the stadium. We want them to come out and support.
Hello, thank you for supporting Mindiola. Sana hindi kayo magsawang magsuporta sa amin. We train hard to get the last games.
All I can say to thank them for the support, the courage that they have been giving us, because they really believe in us, and we also have everything possible to give it back to them for what they deserve, and that is what we are trying to do. We always keep on fighting for them and give them the glory that they always want us to give them.
One team in the title fight, the other in the middle. At the end of the day, they need to grab the W to ensure that sailing is much smoother heading on to the third round. This is virtually like a playoff game with the high stakes, and I've been saying it like a broken record. It's about starting strong in a high stakes game like this. Jan Meliza almost got to do that also here. Tete was able to retreat, but they gave it away cheaply. Mirbach. Low cross. And source? Trust me, bro. Hindi. Komento ni Kenji Nishoka sa akin.
I was kind of expecting if it was trust me, bro. Pero we trust the source.
Oh, malamang. Galing, yung information na yun, galing direct from the source na.
But it does stand as a testament to the ability of us to attract.
As there's an attacking chance. And the Aguilas slip it in. Data had the bottom corner and the near angle closed. But the Aguilas just overwhelmed Kaya with numbers. It's a perfect start for them. They will look to sustain this.
Leading Kaya on. And let's have a look at this replay here. They have a lot of numbers. And look at that back line from Kaya. Just nowhere near it.
Let's take a look at this with our Quad Vision replay brought to you by Upstream Sports TV.
Then you can napag-iwanan ni Talaro yung dalawang nagbabantay supposedly sa area na yan. You could see the number 4, Maluman Soko, and the number 22, Arboleda, just slowing down. Apologies right there. Really risky move that was.
Because they gave up a corner. And it paves way to this, but it's a denial. I ran out of words there because he had countless shots taken.
Near the line. Linesman was spot on that.
You know, naka-fiesta yung dalawa. Going 2-on-1 right here against Villarreal. Eso hit that run of Ibrahim Adamu. Signing up for track and field. It's another chance. Can they get it to Martini in the middle? But Arboleda will shoot.
We're doing everything right. It is a very difficult pass to block that one, but then that leg up.
The Aguila side of the grandstand and Isa Diallo to book that goal. missed that as he had Martini Ray also who was there in the middle. As we have a look at are they shifting to a traditional formation. Ashuto hits the post right here. He did his job right here.
And they really tend to lean so heavily.
Forget for Shuto Komaki, because as much as he hit the back post, that was not a goal. But they still have time to chase the game and make amends.
Ooh.
Martini was in front of Shiraoka and Mirbach's shot came off a defender. Martini was right in front of him. I'm surprised myself that Shiraoka was able to pull off the save somehow. Is there a shot for offside also in that instance? JV Kalukaran. It's not a safe lead.
Well, they do have some options as well. Talarok, Pickering, Amita. So there are a lot of cards that they are yet to play.
But here's Tete now. Buries another one to make it 2-0.
And Kaya has just been unable to stop that. Aguilas finding a way through their relentlessness.
They are celebrating this one because it's a result they desperately need. Will be further against the wall if they do not bag the result here. But what a through ball to set up that goal from Richard Tete. Take a look at this one with our Quad Vision replay brought to you by Upstream Sports TV.
And that's what I'm talking about right there. You don't look for the second pass. You take it on your lonesome. And look at what it's done. Take it first time. Don't be afraid. And that is paying dividends to Aguilas.
In the technical area of the Aguilas. Mirbach. It just sails over the bar though, but not so sure about the intention there. But the player down for the Aguilas. Mirbach to chase. No angle. But it is denied. Komaki. Could he make amends for hitting the post earlier? There's Mike caught in the middle. He gets it as expected. Jovin. Bidik. Oh, there you go. It's a trademark Bidik goal when you need it the most. We did say they're searching for a lifeline. But is it too little, too late?
And you could see you were really not expecting that goal to come from anywhere. But Bidik just hung on to that. Let's have a look at it here from multiple angles. The quad view by Upstream Sports. And they were not taking it. They were not expecting that Bidik would make that impossible shot right there. Twisting his body.
Give it over to Martini. Trying to thread the needle. Malumansoko shoots! And it's denied by Shiraoka.
I think he's just adding up the time. No, he did not.
There you go. That's the full-time whistle. You can say this is an upset. The Aguilas held on. He banked on Shiraoka time. He banked on their defense. They made their chances count. And they made them matter.
And Iko Mangawang. Welcome, guys.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having us.
I think the first thing on the agenda today is to just ensure that I didn't murder your name, Brian, right? So I think Palpalatok has been a tricky one. All the commentators have had their own version of how they've said your name. For the record, sir, how do we pronounce your last name?
Palpalatok is...
Palpalatok.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right. All right, great. Iko, I got your name right? Enrico Mangawang?
Perfect.
Perfecto. Fantastic. All right. Brian, I'm sensing a bit of an accent from you. My understanding is that you did not grow up in the Philippines, but you've been living here the last couple of years. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, so born and raised to Filipino parents in the US. I'm from Southern California, San Diego specifically. Yeah, so born and raised, grew up in a pretty Filipino community. There was a good amount of Filipinos were at my school growing up. So got a little bit of the culture there, but obviously didn't get the real deal until I moved here 2024 for my first season in the PFL. Yeah, and then now on the tail end of my second season here and enjoying it all. Yeah.
Off with Maharlika, and then you've moved over to Aguilas UMAK FC. Tell us a little bit about that journey there. I mean, you started off with Maharlika back when Maharlika perhaps isn't the same Maharlika we're seeing in this particular season, and then now your transition to Aguilas. Could you just take us really quickly through that journey of yours?
Yeah. So like I said, I came here August 2024. I had just graduated from my university back in California. So made that jump already was already tough for me. And then obviously, like you said, not to mention, based on the history of Maharlika as a club, it was much different than they are now. I came into a club and a squad that was maybe not as organized as they are now. And it was really tough. It was a really tough transition for me to play NAI soccer to, professional football here in the Philippines. And yeah, that first round was nothing short of just a mess for me personally. Had ups and downs with my head coach at the time. And then obviously adjusting to living here alone as a 21-year-old, it was definitely difficult. But then the second round came, a bit of shift in management over there, helped me enjoy the football again. And to me, that's all that mattered. All I wanted to do was enjoy and show the league what I'm capable of as a young player. So yeah, ever since then, was able to make the move to Aguilas after.
The goalkeeper putting himself under pressure. It's the opener. Hanike, will he take it? What a goal! Hanike! And it's a goal. Bottom left corner. Opportunity for Philippine Army, and it is an equalizer. Fantastic goal. It's free on the right side, looking for the cross. Beto. And it's a goal for Want the Gig. Yoga takes it straight to the goal. First blood drawn. Could easily be pulled back, but here's Aristorenas, no offside. Aristorenas makes it two. Mirbach meets that one from Malunsoko. Shoots, and they double the lead. Yamaguchi! What a hit! And there's an attacking chance, and the Aguilas slip it in. Business continues here with your championship round in the Philippines Football League 2025-26 season. We have the defending champions, Kai FC, ILOILO, and Aguilas UMAK FC. We are bringing you match number 112 at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. And Jing, these teams squared off last month. Fast forward to today. Round 3 football, here we go.
Yep, it was a fantastic match between these two teams. Their last time out, this time in the third round, the stakes are even higher, and we are expecting another great contest between these two sides.
This is Claro Manzano alongside Jing Hamlang, and thank you very much for joining us in the Philippines Football League's online platforms. So with this, we take it to the standings again. The top 6 got to advance to that championship round to determine who essentially will finish 1 through 6. And this is the situation for Kaya and the Aguilas. And championship hopes, you say, are relatively not there, but at the end, you want to be competing here in this upper tier.
This is about pride in this championship round, and you are getting the opportunity to play quality matches every week here in May. Kaya want to be in that third spot. They are somewhat out of the title race, but you can't be finishing below Dynamic Herbs Cebu, given that you are the 3-time champions. Meanwhile, for Aguilas, you have the opportunity to finish above Stallion, something that you've never done before in the Philippines Football League. So a fantastic opportunity for them to really showcase themselves as a team on the rise here in the PFL.
And this previous encounter of theirs, to be exact, is on April 12th, also here at the same venue. And the Aguilas did upset Kaya with goals behind Cartalarok and Richard Tete. And the lone goal of Kaya was courtesy of Jovin Bidic. And this was not on the bingo card of a great number of people. Now, Aguilas would be able to get this victory over the defending champs.
And hindi lang to any victory para sa Aguilas. This was essentially what secured them their place in the championship round. And if you put it on paper, basically it was a match that they didn't have any chance in. You're up against the three-time champions. You're a team that's struggling with form, but they pulled it out of the bag here, and it was a massive win for them. And sigurado, isa yan sa mga rason kung bakit nandito sila sa championship round, not only as a participant, but with a team with confidence, a team that is capable of inflicting defeat on a side like Manila Digger.
And they could have ended up in the consolation round if they did not bag the 3 points in that previous encounter. It just so happens it was against Kaya FC. And with that, of course, we are going to zoom in on our two squads competing in this fine afternoon. It has been overcast, actually, fantastic weather. But with Kaya FC, they previously bagged a 2-all draw versus Stallion. Both teams were able to hold one another. But heading into this game, Jing, you're saying control the tempo for many reasons.
Yes, Kaya FC ILOILO don't want to be drawn into a match of transitions against a team that thrives in the chaos. Aguilas want to make it a battle. They want to make it into a contest where open yung laro. Takbo tayo dito, takbo tayo doon. Guluhin natin yung laro. For Kaya, they have the quality to be able to dictate possession. And if they are able to do that, they should not get drawn into that kind of contest where, you know, there's too much chaos to manage. So they have the opportunity here, and they need to take it because we saw with Manila Digger that if you make it an open contest, Aguilas are very, very dangerous.
And we have a look at Coach Yu Hoshide's starting lineup. There is a change, as we've noticed, with Brandon Zambrano getting the nod over Shuto Komaki. That raises some eyebrows.
Yes, Shuto Komaki, last year's standout player, not only for Kaya, but in the entire league. He's being sat on the bench today in place of Zambrano in the middle and Melisa out wide. So, yes, it is a very surprising decision, but we will see. You know, there might be reasons for that. Perhaps maybe carrying a bit of a knock from last week. But certainly Shuto Komaki provides a lot of creativity, so we're going to need somebody from this 11 to provide that inspiration and creativity on the pitch.
And with our player to look out for, we've got a Martini Ray. And it's great that you continue to see a player from Barotac Nuevo Iloilo lead the charge for the attack, because there was Jovin Bidic. He continues to be that locker room or bench presence, but it's his fellow kababayan Martini Ray who's been getting the nod here to lead them in the attack.
Galing sa UAAP, sa FEU, pumasok dito sa kupunan ng 3-time champions. You think, nako, hindi masyado makakakuha ng playing time to si Martini Ray, but such has been his consistency in training and in matches that he has forced his way into the plans of Coach Yu Hoshide. And when he left the pitch against Stallion, medyo nag-dip yung laro ng Kaya. So, nararamdaman na natin ang impluensya ni Martini Ray, and we are expecting big things from him in this match.
And Martini Ray is the team's second best scorer, right behind Mike Ott. So he's number 2 in terms of scoring, as we will take it to our coach interview.
Yes, we are really excited to have this game, especially we lost against Aguilas last second round, so we have to bounce back stronger. Thank you.
Very straightforward from Coach Yu Hoshide. You do not want to mess with him because he is out to strike back with his entire crew. Let's head over to Aguilas UMAK and just break things down for the team of Coach Bing Colina. And you were talking about high intensity and snappy transition. It had to be the two here, Jing. We couldn't just narrow it down to one.
And these are the factors that made them so effective against Manila Digger, a team that was invincible prior to that match last weekend. And they made it into a battle with their high intensity, and they were so good in their negative transition and in the positive transition. So these are the elements of the game that Coach Bing Colina drills into his side, on top of the fact that he has instilled a new level of belief in this team na kaya nilang lumaban kahit sino ang nasa pitch, no? 3-time champions ba yan? Ang team na hindi pa natatalo, no problem. We go out there and we believe 100% that we can get 3 points.
After all, hindi naman takot si Coach Bing Colina with Kaya FC because he did work for them or handle the team also an assistant in the first half of the season, and they are also playing a 4-3-3. So I reckon it's going to be skills that will differentiate things in this game between Aguilas and Kaya.
I'm very excited about this lineup. JV Calocanan is going to get a start this time. He was introduced in the second half. Bukit is back, and he provides a real element of high intensity to this team. De Paula was fantastic in the middle of the pitch. You expect him to have another good game today. Brian Palpalatok was great at locking things down on the wing. We were expecting a matchup against Shuto Komaki today. That's not going to come around to fruition, but he's still going to have a big part to play in locking things down on the wing. But our man to watch today is none of those outfield players, but this individual in between the sticks, Iko Mangawang, called into action against Manila Digger. He hasn't played too many games. Bigla siyang binigyan ng responsibilidad, and we weren't sure how he would show up, but boy, did he show out against Manila Digger. Really put on a massive performance. He was the man of the match, but can he make it 2 straight, Claro? That is the question, and up against one of the best teams historically in the league.
And I am sure that Mangawang would like to make it 4 clean sheets for himself personally because of that win versus Digger. He got to make it 3 in this campaign, as we'll take it to our Aguilas coach interview.
Today's game, we know Kaya is very strong, especially on possession. So we'll try our best to defend also and then look again for transition. Then players are really motivated. Since last game, we won against Digger. So we'll try to bring that energy from last week to this game.
There you go, Coach Bing Colina giving his insights heading into this matchup. And with what you were mentioning with that Aguilas versus Digger game, we got to cover it, Jing. Surprising that the Aguilas played it to the tempo of Manila Digger. When you actually look at their lineup, you see some players who are similar in terms of skill, size, physicality. That's why they were able to figuratively rub elbows with Digger and succeed.
Yep, but here against Kaya, it might be a different contest. Manila Digger wanted to play high octane against them. Kaya FC Iloilo might take a more methodical approach, and it's going to be a different challenge altogether. So we will see how these styles clash in this matchup of the 112th match of the league.
And Kaya will look to dissect that Aguilas defense and will look to make it a slower game with the way that they will be dictating the pace. For the Aguilas, let's see how they'll thrive in transition. We got to see that in their meetings also with Kaya FC Iloilo. But we'll take it to the ground now because we are closing in on kickoff in match number 112 in the Philippines Football League 25-26 season. It's round 3. We've got Kaya FC Iloilo and Aguilas UMAK.
Kaya FC Iloilo and Aguilas
Here's another look at the starting lineup of Kaya FC Iloilo and Coach Yu Hoshide. They will look to dictate things, of course, especially with their systematic approach that we just got to talk about earlier.
Yep, this is a big opportunity for Kaya FC Iloilo. They've hit some rough patches as of late. The second round didn't go quite to plan, but they looked a little bit more like themselves in that match against Stallion Laguna, where we saw their capability to unlock a defense in some impressive ways. And there's some real quality on this roster, and Julius Mirabak is going to be a player to watch, that is for sure. But as we mentioned, Martini Ray, what an opportunity here as well to impress against a tough side like Aguilas.
Your respective captains, Jan Melisa and David Coom for Kaya and the Aguilas. And your referee for this game, boys, si John Mike Basinang, ang kanyang assistant sa sila Ryan Colores and KB Nanyola. Si Jesus Abogado ay ang fourth official. Ang referee assessor ay si Mr. Roberto Hernandez. At ang match commissioner natin ay si Mr. Robin Allen Cainglet. It's just championship round vibes here. It's a sprint now, and we're geared up for a grandstand finish with the top 6 teams just slugging it out with every single goal and W counting more. Over on the other side, here's the 4-3-3 of Coach Bing and the Aguilas.
I love the way you put it. It is a sprint now, but it's been after a marathon. Kumbaga, yung last stretch, pagod na pagod ka na, but you're being forced now to push yourself to the limit. And Aguilas UMAK FC has surprisingly been able to take the toll of this league, and they are finishing amongst the strongest of the pack. And you saw the lineup that Coach Bing Colina had on the pitch. It's a team not only with quality, but full of belief that they are capable of competing at this level. Coach Yu Hoshide is going to be a man familiar with his counterpart. They used to work together in the same dugout. It adds to another layer of interest, interesting factors in this particular match.
I know your next move. You know my next move. Let the mind games begin. The chess game in a chess game. Mike Ott will kick off this match for us. You also got to see your list of game changers for your respective teams. Nano Amita for the Aguilas and Jovin Bidik for Kaya. Veterans, of course, as we are just awaiting the clock to strike kickoff time now. Kaya will be in yellow and black, and the Aguilas will be in all white. It's always tough if you're a team also that is looking to build a winning streak. In this instance with Kaya, you scored 2 goals in a draw with Stallion. There was something there. That's what they're going to look now to bring into this match.
There were just a few moments where you perhaps felt there was a lack of precision in the way they controlled things at the back that led to those goals. A loose touch at the edge of the area was the result of both goals, right? So little things that you will be punished with at this level of the game in this championship round. And Kaya just need to make sure that they are careful in and around their area, as Aguilas have a lot of quality players.
Mangawang will resume play because there is that Diano shot that was definitely off earlier. But he will swing possession back now to Kaya. The Aguilas unable to get the connection on that goal kick. Zambrano will knock it to the back with Dato. First touch of the game. Kaishu Yamazaki Jing is going to wear his defender's hat once more.
It has been over the course of the season. It's been a new role for him, at least with Kaya. It hasn't been his most influential season. As we saw in seasons past, the way he dictated the play was really the metronome and heartbeat of this team.
He was untouchable, Kaishu Yamazaki, when he talked about his prime, because you can't get near him. By the time you're there, wala na yung bola. Nandun na sa attacking third.
Always had great vision and a great range of passing that made it difficult to keep Kaya locked in.
Palpalato got it forward. Peña. Some bully ball from Eric Esso working out. Maikot, chance to break free. Melisa. There's Mirbach and Martini Ray. It ends up with the Prior. Mirbach shoots. Denied well by Bukit. Zambrano. Diano will send it back to the middle. Couldn't get the connection. Palpalato was able to stop Melisa. He was able to just impede his path to the ball.
What a ball from Mardiano. Just begging somebody to get a touch on it. Somebody with enough hunger to make the run into that 6-meter box.
And the Aguilas once more with their fans to cheer them on. And it's become a fixture. Na nagdadala sila ng drum to their games.
I gotta love that. Creating a bit of an atmosphere here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium.
And Kalukaran will resume with the throw-in. And with my conversations away from the game, JV Kalukaran, it's his mind really doing the hard work there in thinking. And what more? He has the pace to go up and down, which is what you ask for from a fullback.
He's going to need to mind his P's and Q's today because it's Julius Mirbach that he's going to need to be marking. And Mirbach, from the wing position, has been a real threat. He's got pace, he's got power, and he has the ability to shoot with both feet. He scored a goal, a great goal, against Stallion Laguna from that right wing position. Was a little bit less effective up top as the tip of the spear, but from that position, he adds a great dynamic to this attack of Kaya.
And Kalukaran was actually the matchup of Julius Mirbach in that previous encounter of theirs, where the Aguilas came out successful again. As we've highlighted, as Yamazaki gets this from Tato. Alam naman natin, Jing, natalo yung Kaya again with the Aguilas, but do they have to reinvent the wheel? Or was the plan there just the execution off?
Well, you know, Kaya have been going through some patches, and for them, the real challenge this season was maintaining the high level that they have been hitting over the course of the last 3 years. I would say the peak of which was maybe 2024, 2025, where they were just untouchable, unbeatable, in fact. And the football that they were playing was simply sensational. But since then, you wonder if it's a motivation thing as well. Like, how do you keep the boys hungry? But at this level of competition that we're seeing now, mas madali siguro na makuha yung appetite to play. And I think they're going to come back next season with an additional hunger. But of course, importante para sa kanila, unang-una, is to finish off the season strong.
Yamazaki to Martini. Diano, what the flag is up for him, sadly. But going back with that, Kaya again with an unbeaten run of 42 plus games on the local stage. And that started in the end of the 22-23 PFL season. It extended to the Copa, the 24 PFL season, which saw teams playing a single round robin with 15 teams. And then there's the succeeding seasons also, the 24-25 edition. That's where it was snapped by Manila Digger, but Kaya still got the big ticket, won the title, clinched a ticket to play in the AFC.
It's, yeah, they've been on a great run over the last few years. And that's why it's been such a surprise, the drop-off, that they're fourth at the moment, right? Below the likes of Dynamic Herb Cebu. If you were to ask anybody at the start of the season that Kaya would be fourth, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find anybody who would give that answer.
Well, I think it was obvious they were definitely going to make it to the top 6. We were all good with our predictions in that part.
Yeah. But I think nobody predicted that they would finish or be in this position that they find themselves now.
Kalukaran will slide it over to Tete. That's right, Richard Tete is also able to get goals for them. We'll cycle it now with Dodong Villarreal. And I mean this in a good way with Dodong Villarreal. I've seen people play here in the PFL. Yung mga kaedad niya. They'd be limping after games. They'd be shaking up. I will save the names. Ito si Dodong Villarreal, parang walang problema.
Obviously, he's in great shape, takes great care of himself. And alam mo, yung style of play pa ni Dodong Villarreal, it's not the kind that avoids contact.
Exactly.
So, you have to credit him for his longevity. As a loose touch given away here.
Phuket will fire. Sails over the bar.
Taas kamay si Odi Menzi. Alam niyang pinamigay niya ng medyo cheap yung bola. And that is what can happen if you do that. Immediately, a chance created by Aguilas.
That was a similar concern also when Kaya did face Stallion last weekend. And vice versa, Stallion and Kaya giving each other opportunities of these mistakes here and there. Not a problem at all. It's into the gloves of Mangawang. Martini to chase. And just to wrap up this conversation of ours dito tungkol sa Kaya, as there's a high boot to Melisa from Palpalatok. He was trying to go for the ball, of course, no doubt, but Melisa is shaken up. A warning is issued here to Palpalatok.
It's a bit of a loose touch. The ball just bounced up. He tried to control it, but Melisa's head is right there. You know, he's not the tallest of players. I don't think there was any malice in it.
Just wrong place, wrong time while trying to go for the ball. Yamazaki got past one, made it two. Arguably made it 3, 4. Peña's in the way. Zambrano intercepted. Mirbach versus Kalukaran. He has that score to settle, but it's still JV with the upper hand.
That's a danger. Yamazaki will always want to get forward, but when he loses the ball, there's going to be a space in behind, and Aguilas know this. They just weren't able to take advantage on that occasion.
It will be a corner kick for Kaya and Melisa. But going back again, yes, Kaya had that rough patch. They were able to snap a winless run. But when you look at the results altogether, they haven't been able to bag wins versus fellow top 6 teams. At the most, they've been able to get draws just inside the 6-yard area. Peña sending it to the side. Zambrano got to control. They go for the other side. It's no good, and Bukit just escorted that ball out.
This is what I love about this season, Claro. We're talking about the top 6 and getting results against the top opposition. The quality of the league has risen dramatically this season in particular. And that means you need to be able to step your game up, not once a week out of 4 matches. No, it's every week now. And particularly in this championship round, hindi ka talaga pwedeng bumaba in terms of your level of play, right? You're not going to get a week off anymore where there's going to be sure wins that you're going to be able to rack up. It's really a marathon. It's a grind now because of the quality of the opposition. Every game, you got to give your best.
That's 2 goal kicks already in this game where Mangawang was offline. Hit it too much to the side. Great ball from Mott to find Mirbach. Now he'll take on Bukit. Here's the cross to the back post. Cartalarok gets to clean up. Adamu. Can he put the pressure, Menzi? Not a problem. Malumanzoko. Over with the Aguilas again. How they've been able to fare. Yes, they were able to bag that victory over Kaya and then just plummeted back down to earth. 4-1, a loss versus 1 Taguig. The Aguilas made it a bit more difficult for themselves to make it to this championship round. They had to bank on results from other teams. Kaya nakapasok din sila. But nonetheless, they still got to make it. A mix of merit, a mix of luck. Eric Kesso gives up the foul.
I think in the grand scheme of things, they deserve to be here. And having been able to do that while in transition is very impressive from this Aguilas UMAK side. Not only their players, their coaching staff, but their management being able to navigate the entirety of the season chopping and changing their roster and figuring out how to advance their program forward. And I think they've built a really good foundation now here at Aguilas UMAK.
Well, let's see if they'll be able to sustain that over the course of the next season even, you could say. But this is a great springboard, of course, for Aguilas UMAK. Yamazaki sent it to the midfield. Jan Melisa got his head to it. Only goes as far as JV Caloocaran. Martini puts the pressure on Mangawang.
Player down here. Justin Peña's not getting up.
That's right. Also another one for Kaya. It just happened recently with Diano. It's not every day you see Diano hit the pitch. And with this close look at Diano and Yamazaki. Yes, this is something we've seen in the previous seasons. But as the defending champion, you have a gold Philippines Football League patch on the right sleeve of your jersey.
It's a nice touch.
Now, talk about bragging rights, of course. That's something, as a defending champion, you always wear with pride to add to wearing that jersey of yours.
Of course, it's a point of pride for those wearing it, and it's a target for those who are facing you. Every team wants to be able to say they beat the defending champions, and you don't lack any motivation when you're going up against Kaya.
They want to take that trophy away also, as we know, as is the case with any team playing against the champions. Ray Bukit came close to successfully controlling that. Kaya to resume. Mirbach is surrounded. It's still that common point that you have Caloocaran, and he continues to contain him. But as we know, can you do it the full 90? And Mangawang gets this underway once more. But just to talk about the Aguilas further, they have those core of players retained from the first half of the season, but they really got shaken up in that transfer window. And there were doubts of, is this squad good enough to go all the way? Number two, can they gel together? Because they lost a boatload of players. Kaka, Ruben Theoran, Nathan Hancock, just to name a few.
And again, I think that's a testament to the management. They've done a good job, finding the right players, the right set of characters that would take them forward. And it's always a risk when you're gonna make wholesale changes to your squad. But clearly they saw certain pieces that they felt, this is not for us. And you also need to have that ability to be ruthless, that willingness to make a decision and say, you know what, we gambled, it didn't pay off. We need to cut our losses here and start again. And to be fair to them, they did that effectively over the course of the season. And they came back in this second half of the season, and they've done well. Kahit na yung resulta, hindi natin masasabi parating maganda para sa kanila, pero siguro nakikita nila yung mga performances and they're saying, we're going in the right direction. And you have to appreciate that with regards to the management of Aguilas UMAK.
All part of those building blocks, as we know. JV Caloocaran just tried to grab onto the ball while hitting the pitch. Foul is against him, though. Pazi Malumansoko. Kaisho Yamazaki wanted to go right initially. And now he has that option out wide with Zambrano moving. But it's with the captain. Palpalatok just winning that easily. It was gifted by Jan Melisa. Peña over to Coombe. Coombe definitely hit in the midfield.
Hasn't been the same high-tempo matches against Manila Digger, but Aguilas showing that they have patience as well defensively.
Cart versus Malumanzoko. Piece of cake here for Pathy, given the experience that he has. But with this, do you say that the Aguilas are playing this to the tempo of Kaya na medyo mabagal? They're just being a bit more patient.
For them, they can't force the issue. Kaya have more of the ball. It is the nature of contests with Kaya in the Philippines Football League. The men in yellow will often be just that little bit cleaner on the ball. And that gives them the opportunity to dictate the tempo. But for Aguilas, it's moments like this that are important. What you do with the ball the first 3 to 5 seconds after recovery.
Martini took a fall. Cart couldn't wiggle his way out. It's still with them though. Palpalatok. Villarreal. Martini Ray making them uncomfortable. Malumanzoko able to deny the forward run of Adamu. And then Yamazaki and the crew just collected that ball into their defensive half.
The challenge is a bit different here for Aguilas. Can you also build up methodically when you do have possession? Because Kaya are quite good at minding the spaces and making sure they defend transitions well.
Martini. De Paula. I believe Ott was able to impede De Paula. That is why this ball is eventually out for a Mangawang goal kick.
Now, one thing Aguilas have done well is they haven't allowed Kaya many opportunities to open them up. Right? We had one opportunity where Julius Mirbach was able to fire off a shot, but that was well blocked. Other than that, Mardiano flashed the ball into the 6-meter box. And then that's it, pretty much.
It's been that game of midfield control again. Both teams just trying to wrestle it from one another. But you will see Aguilas getting stops, but not able to pounce exactly well in transition, which was a key point in this game, as we got to mention earlier. Yamazaki will hit the gas. They're pushing that defense down. It's a solid block from Aguilas UMAK. Eso attracted attention. Yamazaki. Diano, return ball. The two playing off of one another. Mangawang spilled it. Martini got to find the back of the net. Just like that. That's not the first time we've witnessed that celebration from Martini Ray.
He's a predator inside the box, Martini Ray. You cannot give him a sniff. And here's the moment. Look at that. He did not need to think twice, Martini Ray. A swivel of the body. Hits it with his left foot. He knows exactly where the goal is. It might be a scuffed effort, no problem. What's important is he's hitting the target. And as a striker, you're going to be very pleased with that finish. Look at that. No hesitation from the front man. And Kaya in front.
And Martini Ray with that killer's instinct for finding the back of the net and punishing corner flags. There you go. 1-0 is the score. Martini Ray with the opening goal in this game, or first blood.
Are meant to watch, both in the spotlight on that play.
And if you go just slightly away from the spotlight, not to take credit away from anyone, there was also that play between Diano and Yamazaki. Lightning quick passing. As Pedro De Paula was looking to run free, but not in that instance because of the call on the ground.
And this is what we were talking about when we spoke about dictating the tempo. It's slow, 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 then fast, fast, fast from Kaya, right? They're kind of lulling you to sleep, and then all of a sudden they pick up the pace and they're cutting you open. And Yamazaki, unsurprisingly sensual to it. Medyo nakakagulat dahil center back siya. Bigla lang nandun na siya. Nasa itaas, nasa final third, gumagawa ng play.
We would see that from a certain number of players also. So halos yung nangyayari, Yamazaki or any playmaking center back, when they move forward, a midfielder will drop down, or sometimes even a fullback. In this instance, I've noticed Brandon Zambrano dropping down. Bukit the slide.
Wow.
Gets down here. Ray Bukit is slow to get up.
It's the way he fell, it's just a bit awkward, but you love his intensity always. Bukit, full commitment all the time.
23 minutes into this game. Richard Tete. Dodong Villarreal. It's 1-0 again, thanks to the effort of Martini Ray. Unfortunate in the perspective of the Aguilas. Not that we are taking anything away from Kaya, because they made that opportunity count. They punished the Aguilas, of course. Mangawang will look to bounce back along with his entire team.
Siyempre, yung masakit para sa Aguilas, it was preventable. What should have been a routine catch led to an opportunity.
Will they cross? There's still Jan Meliza to beat. But it will be a throw-in for Cartalarok. 24 minutes into this one already. Alongside Jing Hamlang, this is Claro Manzano. You're joining us in the Philippines Football League's YouTube page. And this will be a Brian Palpalatok long throw. Off the head of Ori. Shot here was on target from Depola. Here's Dato with his signature distribution. Mirbach, can he meet it? I believe this hit the hand or arm of Tete.
The arm of Mirbach actually on that one. Did you see the intention? And it's something that they've talked about, because Mirbach sprinted right away once Dato caught that ball.
This one was loose. Adamu couldn't pounce though. Eric Esso cleared out by Ori. Heavy touch from Peña, but it's still with them. Talarok. Palpalatok. Cut it back. No connection there with Kumar Bukit. Was that a matter of waiting for the other in that instance?
Two options, but the attack is still on here. It's better from Aguilas.
Kaya staying deep down. They're keen on absorbing pressure. This is something, of course, when they are also well drilled. You'll see plenty of defensive football from Kaya on the international stage. They're able to frustrate opponents too. But this participation of ILOILO in the Champions League too, unfortunately, wasn't the best that we've witnessed from them. Villarreal moved forward. Coom was able to get some pressure from Meliza. While we're at it, Jing, let's also talk about it. Our two goalkeepers are from the football program of DLSU Manila. Dato and Mangawang did get to reach a Coach Hans era, coaching De La Salle University.
Might be something in the water over there, but they come in a great physique, a real stature of a goalkeeper, and you know, they have such talent over there in between the sticks. Great hands, great feet, perfect for the modern style. And you know, Patrick Dato is going to be a man that has particular sympathy for that last goal that was given away. It's a difficult position to play. You have to have a thick skin, and you have to have the character to pick yourself back up when things go wrong. And Iko Mangawang is going to get a test today.
Here's that last play. That is why it is going to be Richard Tete continuing with a free kick. They opted to take that one short. Brandon Zambrano hitting the deck. Physicality in this game just climbing bit by bit. Of course, it is directly correlated also with tension in this game.
Not for the first time today. Richard Tetes pinged the ball that's been a bit troublesome to control. Once to Calocana and this time to Bukit. And that ball just bounced up and he got clipped a little bit on the turn. His control of the ball wasn't clear, and so he did not win the whistle.
We are also closing in on the 30th minute right here in this matchup. Kaya, the defending champions, in yellow and black. Aguilas UMAK in all white. It is a triple header again for your championship round action in the Philippines Football League 25-26 season. 3 games today. Lahat mabigat.
Yep, all the teams of the championship round, and finally makikita natin ang one gig in action. We saw Dynamic Herb Cebu start off their championship round earlier in dramatic fashion. And one gig, what an opportunity they have. A chance now to get back level on points. And they are 2 games behind at the moment, so bukas na bukas yung title race natin.
I saw a bit of Prikanrik's Vaireng there when Cebu made some changes. They put Mario Score, who is a tank, and he just hounded the backline of Manila Digger, competing with them with physicality. And that's how Cebu got to salvage a draw versus Digger. But that was great also. Both teams with plenty of chances. Superb goalkeeping from the 2 sides.
I would have thought Manila Digger starting off this championship round with a loss and a draw up against teams that they had beaten quite handedly in the past.
That doesn't sound Manila Digger to me, if you ask me. Similarly, Kai again coming off struggles, but they hold this 1-0 lead as we speak. Pati Malumanzoko clearance. Villarreal will get to their attacking direction.
Whenever a no-look pass doesn't come off, we wonder, siguro dapat tumingin ka na lang.
I'll often hear from coaches, and even the grassroots level, don't do it fancy. Just do it simple and well. Here's this long ball testing Kaya's D. Bukit to the middle. Malumanzoko again. He's been coming up with crucial clearances. Mirbach helping out at the back. Cart almost getting it from behind. Diano. Yeah, Diano inverting just a bit, moving up.
And those are the moments where you wonder about Kaishu Yamazaki as a center back. The long balls in an awkward position. He's not particularly great at heading that ball, being defensively sound. Just got a bit awkward for him. Almost led to a chance.
Here's De Polo with the stop. And Diano had his fingerprints in that spell as he got it to Mirbach on the wing earlier. Hard fall for Bukit. I will also raise this now about the Aguilas, or for any underdog that's able to, quote-unquote, punch above their weight and then upset the team or defeat a team that's higher ranked. You are drained, possibly physically, because you had to work at 110% the entire game. Next, you can be drained mentally because in those types of games, you're just locked in the whole time. So do you have that mentally, and can you do it again? Naka-recover na ba kayo?
One thing I will say, Claro, is that the spirit, however, has been raised. It's fuller, and you have this new sense of belief in yourself as well. So yes, there is a potential that you could be drained, but in the same way, you could get fired up and back yourself even more. So I believe Aguilas would be on the latter. I think they're going to use that game as a springboard for them moving forward. And again, they're doing well in this game. The scoreline says that they are behind. It's a one-off mistake. Otherwise, they have not been cut open. They have been organized, defensively sound, and they've been getting more forays going the opposite direction. I wouldn't be too displeased if I'm Coach Bing Colina on the sideline right now.
And let's remember these two teams also squared off with one another in opening weekend. Well, that was last year, of course. Right after overhauling their roster, the Aguilas had to play Kaya immediately. And Kaya just won. 1-0, slim lead. Peña. Yamazaki denied that ball to Adamu. Palatok pressing forward. And with that, there's Cartalatok filling in for him at the back. Is this that moment for the Aguilas to get momentum their way?
They're certainly getting more of the ball now.
This may have been a foul throw also, I reckon. Kaya babalik ang bola dito sa Kaya. And ito supposed to be possession Aguilas. And while we are at it, I got to see Coach James Kim right here at the grandstand, a former PFL coach. I believe he wrapped his duties coaching at Cambodia, so it's off-season time for him already.
It's a foul throw again outside of Dongyu, who is now in Cambodia. Also, Bobe Kim is here. Bobe Park, rather, my mistake, sorry. Bobe Park, who was a former player of Stallion and also became an assistant for the national team of Malaysia. So it's great to see that they're back here in the Philippines enjoying the PFL. Still keeping a close eye on the action here in our country.
It's that tightly knit football community here, as we know. And you're welcome to join us at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. Tickets start at 175 pesos per head. And sulit nga yung mga ticket, parang day pass na rin yan. Has to catch all the games in one day. And this is a rare free kick for Aguilas UMAK. I haven't really seen corners from them also. Well, this can start the engines of the crew of Coach Bing. Or will it be a routine stop for Dato and his defense? They can still keep the fire alive here. They cross it as expected. Dato intercepted. Quickly now. Mirbach pushes. And we did see indeed that Mike Ott was flagged offside. Mike exchanging words with Aguilas in-house enforcer, Todong Villarreal. I'm sure we cannot do this, but we would like to hear it. Naka-mic up yung mga player in the pitch.
Oh, I'd love that.
Now, sometimes also, when I'd be chatting with my family, of course, sports fans, you'd see players exchange words. One question we have, or we imagine, they are both speaking in their local languages because they really mean the anger and they're unable to understand one another.
That's what makes it so much more colorful.
Eric Esso thought about it, eventually boots it long. Peña. Tete under pressure. There's the gap in the midfield. Eric Esso just shut the door forward. Palpalatok to the wing. 9 minutes and change remaining in the first half. It is 1-0 thanks to Martini Ray. Will Martini Ray punish another corner flag? We will find out. That seems to be part of his celebration now whenever he gets to score.
It could become an iconic celebration for Martini Ray. I personally like it very much. Flying kick to the corner flag. It's a nice touch.
So you have that to add to Okereke's dance moves. Are we still missing something on the list? I wonder. Well, you have the Finn McDaniel celebration where he puts his 2 hands up. There's also Sudya for Manila Digger. On brand, he brings out the Su whenever he gets the score. Now, time continues to tick here. But do you, with the score though, do you really say it's momentum for Kaya, or do you have something brewing for Aguilas UMAK?
Right now, there hasn't been a lot going Kaya's way offensively. But that might change right here.
Taken away. Meliza's targets. Palpalatok with the block once more.
He's kept things very quiet on his right flank defensively for Aguilas. He's kept Janjan Meliza largely ineffective on that left flank for the time being anyway.
You were also mentioning, I recall, in your interview with the Aguilas, that was a potential matchup, Shuto Komaki versus Palpalatok. And Brian Palpalatok has seen success there, actually, in containing Shuto Komaki. He was decorated also here in the PFL. Won the golden ball last time around. Yellow on Zambrano from the looks of it. We'll try to double check that, of course. Eso brought it down the left, drifted out wide. Tete, the number 55, beating the number 77 in Martini.
It's a great tackle.
It's still inside, in spite of the uncertainty. Oh my God, just escaped the pocket. Martini Ray. Zambrano. And Kai once more, slowing it down to their liking. This is the type of football we see when they are just clicking on all cylinders. Also what we witnessed in their championship winning seasons. But you still see, there's still that fifth gear. And they'll just take their sweet time here. Aguilas UMAK settling down with his block in the midfield from the looks of it. Just some token pressure.
It seems rather elementary. They're going from side to side. As I was saying, it all seems rather elementary the way they go side to side, Kaya, but they're actually making runs in behind and moving Aguilas in from their defensive shapes. And when the time is right, they're going to look for a bit of penetration. So it serves two purposes: to take you out of position, to hold on to possession. Actually, there's a third reason, is that it's tiring to be chasing the ball around. So they're sapping you of your energy.
And with what we said earlier, they just hit the gas all of a sudden, maiiwan ka in a situation like this. Mirba got the blow by JV Kalukaran. There's the help from Bukit. JV versus Mar. Yamazaki wanted to send it forward. A bit of the friendly fire. Sniped Brandon Zambrano. Great presence of mind from Roy Bukit. Adamu. You saw Shingard also fly. It's Maluman Zokos. Momentum just with Kaya. They're able to get these balls here and there while defending.
They've done their homework here with Mirbak. JV Kalukaran has been showing him wide. Make him want to go to the end line. Cover the cross if he releases it. If he cuts back onto the left side, Bukit's arriving. So it's been very effective in making sure that Mirbach is nullified on that right flank.
But Kaya with the advantage again. Martini was able to pounce on an error or a gift, you could say. In that last game of Kaya versus Stallion, we did say that they have to be clinical. Kaya also bringing that now. Can they get the insurance goal though? In that perspective, because we've been talking about that prospect of Aguilas UMAK having to play catch up. But on the flip side, can Kaya double things now and get that cushion?
We just saw the danger of not having a cushion in our previous matchup between Manila Digger and Cebu. For all of their domination in that game, Manila Digger failed to create more of a gap between them and Dynamic Herbs Cebu, and they were punished in the end by a very late goal from Kore. And it ended 1-1. At this level, a scoreline like this is far from safe.
A win for Kaya will elevate the defending champs to 45 points. They will hold the provisional lead over Cebu at 43 if that is the case. Kaya, or Cebu rather, with a match on hand as compared to Kaya. And get this, if the Aguilas are somehow able to climb back out and get this win, they'll be within 4 points of Kaya. But as we speak, that is an uphill task at the moment. Zambrano was given plenty of space. Now it's Melisa in the middle. Mardiano. Quite a character, Mardiano. You really see how he just fits into the vibes of their team. A bit of the jokester, I would also say.
He's made quite a career, Mardiano. Galing sa UE, moved up, got into the PFL, turned some heads with his performances, and he's made that right back position his own at one of the top teams here in the Philippines Football League. In fact, the top team for a long time. He's become a fixture on the international stage as well.
That right back spot of Kaya once upon a time. Anton Del Rosario's about a decade ago. And Mangawang will just retrieve this one. He's in the same tune as Caloocaran in that instance.
Actually, it's been more than a decade since Anton Del Rosario.
The 2010s to be precise.
Man.
There you go.
Time has been flying, huh?
He's playing alongside Ali Borromeo, who was center back. Yeah, Jason Sabia playing alongside Borromeo.
There's been a lot of great players who have played for Kaya. It's a testament to the longevity of the club.
Diano could not thread the needle. Coombe. Ooh, got clipped in the ankle by Diano.
There's been no hesitation there from our referee. Card out of the pocket immediately after that contact. It was the lift more than anything. He'd missed the tackle, then made the action to ensure one player could not get past him. There's the intent, well read by the referee.
And while we are at this topic, of course, with legends and Kaya, you could say, Mardiano with 80+ appearances already for Kaya FC on the local stage. As Mar gets the clearance. Jovin Bidik is at 146 and plus when it comes to playing games right here in the PFL or on the local level.
Yep, there's a lot of players that have spent a lot of time at Kaya. Jovin Bidik, of course, a legend, not only with Kaya, but the top flight of Philippine football.
Ori Menzi actually breached the 100+ mark also. And Data just chesting this one.
You know, not a lot of teams can say that players will enjoy such longevity with them. And there is the halftime whistle.
Done and dusted with the first 45, and it is 1-0 for KFC over Aguilas UMAK. Martini Ray, the goal scorer, on both sides with their work cut out as they'll head over to their respective dugouts. And we'll catch you in a bit for your statistics and highlights.
Hey there, what you drinking? 2 shots, let's pour it out. I know what you're thinking, but tomorrow won't come for us. This life that we're living, ain't never gonna give it up. Double shot for the gifted, and one more for us. There you go, drink it up. All this love in a cup. Yeah, we go slow, we go fast. Yeah, we can't get enough. We stay all day, all night, living in paradise. Remember, you don't get it twice. The time of your life. This is the time of your life. Remember, you don't get it twice. The time of your life. Don't look at the past, no, we're not going that way. Oh, now make it last. and you last to the break of day. No matter what people say, live life in a fast lane. Double shot for the gifted, triple shot for the pain. There you go, drink it up, all this love in a cup. Yeah, we go slow, we go fast. Yeah, we can't get enough. We stay all day, all night, living in paradise. Remember, you don't get it twice. The time of your life. This is the time of your life. Remember, you don't get it twice. The time of your life. Remember, you don't get it twice. The time of your life.
currently at the break in your matchup between Kaya FC Iloilo and Aguilas UMAK, and it is 1-0 thanks to Martini Ray. And he was just gifted an opportunity, and he just grabbed it by the horns and sent that ball home to the back of the net. And that is why the defending champs lead. But most attacking opportunities have gone their way, Jing, nonetheless. And you could say, with their pressure, they churned out one goal. This was the moment.
Great finish from Martini Ray. Yes, good fortune for him that it fell in his path, but he still had a bit to do. Quick instincts, quick thinking, and the ability to find the back of the net there. Well done from Martini Ray. But other than that, there haven't been too many opportunities created by the three-time champions, and perhaps that will be the aspect that they are most disappointed with, because Aguilas got into the game and started to cause a bit of trouble going the opposite direction. But it has been largely an even game, Claro. I would say not a lot between them. And right now, the scoreline reflecting that with just a one-goal difference as we take a look at the statistics here.
And indeed, those yellow cards were confirmed. That includes the one of Zambrano, which we got to see flashed on our screens based on the numbers. And with the shots, of course, foreign target going the way of Kaya. And just that one for the Aguilas with De Paula's shot that was routinely chested by Dato. And that's the situation we have as we speak.
So if you are Aguilas, you want to be able to create more transitions, create a bit more chaos in this game, because that's where the opportunities arise for you. For Kaya, yes, the control is there, but you need to be creating more. And right now, if you're relying on your center back, Yamazaki, to create for you the openings going forward, then you're not seeing enough production from your midfield. This is for Esso to take, as well as for Mike Ott. They need to get the ball to those players for them to create in the middle, as Zambrano is more of a defensive-minded midfielder.
And just to add, of course, as we have a good look at the Aguilas players warming up, someone who has been quiet in this game is Pedro De Paula. And you have Justin Peña, who's able to get stops here and there, but you see it has been rough for them on offense. And with the activity in the Aguilas area off camera, you can assume that Teimoshi Shiraoka is going to enter, because they are actually warming him up. He has his jersey on. He likes to wear his undershirt on the bench. And just by piecing things together, that is why we have that speculation. Players now trickling onto the pitch bit by bit.
Substitution board is out, and I feel for Iko Mangawang that he is being withdrawn here. Otherwise, you know, you can't see he was having a bad half of football, but perhaps they want Shiraoka in there just to be sure and to get him back onto the pitch, as he has been their main guy this season. He's no longer nursing what was keeping him off the pitch, so perhaps now is as good a time as any to get him back reinstated in his position.
Yes, they made a change. And both teams again entered his dugout with the score at 1-0 in favor of Kaya. But nonetheless, the Aguilas making this change. And from the looks of it, we do not see any other substitutions also. That change will be put into stone the moment the second half is kicked off. And you did mention, Jing, sorry, the expectations coming out, right, with the adjustments here and there, as you were saying.
I would have liked to see Iko Mangawang finish the game, just to give the young man an opportunity to, you know, show his character in a difficult situation. But it is what it is. Aguilas making the substitution here to start the match in the second half. Otherwise, no changes. You hope for a little bit more tempo into this second period than what we saw in that first half.
There's a player down for the Aguilas. It is Brian Palpalato as the change in Mangawang stepping off for Shiraoka. is confirmed. That is a goalkeeper change for the Aguilas. Shiraoka is in pink on the left side of your picture. They slice the defense with this ball. Ori Menzi did get a lot of work done on defense. They were mainly trying to go down his wing. Mike Ott will just bid his sweet time to take this corner kick. You have the likes of Shuto Komaki, Jovin Bidik, and Marco Casambre from the looks of it in the warm-up area of Kaya. Here's Ott with a right-footed corner. I'm not so sure if Shiraoka got to punch that one.
It looked like he got a touch to it with his left glove. And that's what you want him there for, to be a commanding presence. He is a big man, Shiraoka. A real domineering figure in between the sticks.
And the lone goalkeeper to date in the PFL to score a goal, as we know.
Oh, that's right.
Never forget. Taito sent it forward, but the flag is up. Offside against Kaya.
Caught camping a little bit. Martini Ray, flat-footed in behind the defensive line.
But before I wrap that up, when Shiraoka scored that goal, it was a corner or a free kick. Parang alam niya yung galaw ng striker or attacking player. Yun, a free kick. Very interesting.
What a day that was. Aguilas, all about creating history in the league.
Definitely some drama there. And not just history, pero may halong drama, di ba?
Definitely a lot of drama to that one. That's what you love. That's what you love about a league. So many stories this season.
And with Kaya, you nap for a bit. The next thing you know, you're making history. When I was covering the last season, hey, it's been a long time since Kaya lost. At that point in time, I said to myself, I think they're on a streak. I did the math. Streak was at about 30 plus games already, ended at 40 plus. Eric Kesso with some pain on his foot because of this collision.
Ooh, it's the right foot that hurt. But he's holding on to his ankle, so it looked like Peña clipped him. That loose touch forcing a 50-50. No malicious intent from Justin Peña. He was going for the ball.
Kaya in yellow and black. Aguilas in all white. Shiraoka long ball will look to test the defense. Yamazaki poked it away quickly. There's a charging De Paula, but Eric Kesso is able to get the clearance. This one seems to be out already for Shiraoka because Martini was looking to win that from him.
Yan yung mga gusto kong intangibles na ginagawa ni Martini Ray. You think it's a lost cause, but he's just going to run for it. And he'll win you a possession or two just from sheer effort like that.
It's not just about the goals, as we know. But it's these moments that Martini will create, of course. And with those extra possessions, sometimes those could just spell the difference in any game with those fine margins. Cheers here from the Aguilas fans as they are getting forward. Coom. Peña with the turn. Cart was a bit awkward in receiving that ball. He'll knock it back to his back line. They say there's an opening on the left. That's the side they go for. Kalukaran versus Mirbak. It's a swap of roles here. Now it's Mirbak having to defend against JV. And Zambrano just hit down here.
This is the element of a game of Bukit that needs to be dialed back a little bit. You love his intensity, but he tends to be a bit clumsy at times when he's coming with a lack of control. And they lose out on opportunities to win back possession cleanly. Tapagalaw kagad si Coach Bing Colina onto the bench. It's very rare that we see Bukit finish the 90 minutes.
Isa Dialia, who is the goal scorer of the Aguilas, is on the bench and is not getting the start. That was also the case last game. They subbed him in, and then he had to be subbed out. From what I got to see online, it is injury. It's not the best time, of course, to have your lead striker sidelined due to injury. Yes, they got the job done last time around with an upset victory over Manila Digger. But can they do that again short-handed? That's the question. That's the challenge. JV. It's the Aguilas still being patient, as is the case in the first half. Is there a point in time where they have to ditch that slow approach to the game or patient approach and then just hit that high intensity mode that worked for them versus Digger?
That's what I'm waiting for, Claro. I feel like there will be a point where they feel, you know what, this patient approach is not going to yield us the opportunity to get back into this game. Let's start to gamble a little bit and perhaps leave some openings in the process in chasing the game, but at least give yourself a chance to tie and get back into this game.
And let's also take a look at the panel and community predictions in case you missed those earlier in our broadcast. Our colleague Diego Cordero predicted a 2-1 victory for the Aguilas over Kaya. There's still the possibility of that. ESBF did say a 1-all draw between these two teams. Callum Thompson, aka PFL Bible, said a 2-1 win for Kaya here. PFL database Chino Sator said a 1-all draw between these squads. There's still the possibility for all of these results that we just mentioned.
I think it's crazy to think that it has become the norm to think that Kaya is not going to get 3 points against Aguilas UMAK FC. How things have changed so dramatically over the last few months. You're talking about the 3-time champions here in the past. Without much thinking, it would have been 3 points to Kaya. But such has been the improvement of Aguilas over the last few months. And perhaps how things have changed in terms of how potent Kaya have been in recent time has also been in flux.
And Shiraoka get to collect that cross of Mirbach. But with that statement you said, do we end this game later on with Kaya saying, no, don't you forget, we're still here. Things don't change that fast. Or do you say, tides can change quickly if the Aguilas are able to just come up with some of the results that our colleagues predicted, which would be a win in their favor.
Yamazaki is down here after that collision. It looked like he took a knee to the thigh. He seems to be okay. But I think if the scoreline maintains at 1-0 for Kaya, that statement is not made that Kaya is back. You know, I genuinely believe that they would need 1 or 2 more goals in order to make that statement. But more than the goals, it's about creating the openings, the opportunities, and off-balancing your opponent and being able to cut them open. Right now, we're not seeing any of that dynamism that we've become accustomed to in seasons past.
And that clearance going to the grandstand. Depola. They resume play quickly, of course, because they are chasing the game. That sense of urgency can help, as we know. It's the Aguilas on the attack now. Peña took a fall, no whistle, and that was definitely a clear push from Caloocaran versus Zambrano to slow down the counter.
Smart move from Caloocaran. Zambrano is complaining that seemed intentional, ref. Why is there no yellow?
And the clear extension of the arms and the hands from JV there. Yan, ito siya, Jing. Nahuli nila direct Josh and Renzi, who is in charge of our replays.
Yeah. Referee had a good look at it as well.
Talk about front row seats. Cart. Tete. They're playing with fire here. They're slightly bailed out only. It was half cleared. Zambrano. Ought out wide. That one lacking in power. And Chiraoka will just tone things down for them. Todong Villarreal to bring it up quickly. You have a triple change waiting in the wings for Coach Bing. Mirbach, will he get another goal? He scored last game. It's Martini getting it on target. Tete got to clean up and deny a rebound. The Aguilas with their hands busy, but on the defensive end.
Didn't quite get the curl on that one. Ray would have been well served aiming for the far corner. Instead, it was directly at the goalkeeper.
Meliza. He seems to be playing in that more central role now, just like the previous game. Lovely ball to Esso out wide. Or from Esso, rather. Punched away by Shiraoka. Palpalatok with the miss hit. It goes out for a Kaya throw-in, but he would have liked to send it their attacking way. So Jibrila, Kira Yamamoto, and Nano Amita will enter, and Kum, Talarok, and Adamu will call it a day. A triple sub is a statement. This is also big with Amita returning. Let's recall he got injured.
He's been out almost the entirety of the second round, I believe, with Tongsia Arnel Amita. And not only is he a creative monster for them, he is the captain of this team. And you'd love to see him back on the pitch. And not just for Aguilas, but for neutrals. He's a man who is capable of creating a bit of magic out there on the pitch.
Will these changes work wonders for the Aguilas, who are playing catch-up? But for Kaya, they are staying the course because they are still carrying on their control of this game.
Well, will that be enough? I'm not sure. I think they need a cushion here, Claro, because Aguilas are spending a bit more time in the final third. And you wonder if it's just a moment of time before they get a clear-cut opportunity.
Because the Aguilas have one more change remaining. Let's remember, they subbed in Shiraoka at the half. But speaking of changes, this is the first one here for Coach Yu Hoshide.
Definitely quite curious to see who Marco Casambre is replacing, because Audi Menzi does not look injured. But perhaps it's Mardiano. I see his thigh taped up. It is Mardiano. Well, that'll mean Audi Menzi will move over to the right back spot. Marco Casambre will inhabit his familiar left-sided role in defense.
It's already 70 plus appearances for Marco Casambre on the local stage with Kaya. Quite a feat already for him. But as is the case with a great number of his teammates in Kaya, given that they just have so much continuity, players, or it's common for players to have that long tenure.
And that's what Kaya is about, stability.
Martini. But pass just loose. And now they get it out of danger. But it just ended up somehow with Yamazaki.
One player who haven't seen involved in this game, and it seems outrageous given the numbers that he's produced this season, is Mike Ott. They need to get the ball to him more often.
Here's Mirbach. Will cross it with his left. And Bukit got it out with his head. And is there that concern? Because Mike Ott was somewhat quiet, you could say, in that game versus Stallion.
Yep, I would say it is a concern. Like, you're not getting your best player on the ball. You're not letting him influence the game as much. You're not finding him out there on the pitch. Yes, he's going to be a marked man, but you need to be able to get the ball in the positions where he likes it, where he can influence the game.
It's 12 assists and 12 goals for Mike Ott in this PFL edition. Yamazaki. Esso gave it away cheaply. That's also smart there. One of the Aguilas players saying, don't pass it to me, I am offside. That is why the play is still on. That is actually Mikhailo Chibrila who was saying, don't pass it to me. In that instance, poked away by Marco Casambre. Palpalato will fire. Eric Esso was able to get the stop. Here's Mike Ott playing it to Mirbach. Here's Dodong Villarreal. Very casual from Dodong. Maybe people not familiar will give you the wows. Just another day in the office for Villarreal.
You see there, Dodong Villarreal covering the space very quickly. He knew exactly what he was going to do. He's going to make contact with the man. The ball in close proximity. Mirbach had his hands up, but it was close enough to a shoulder-to-shoulder.
Peña, was he tripped? Our referee John Mike Basinang says get up. Tato with the low volley. I'm not sure if I'm seeing signs of Phi League data this evening with the way he's been playing. Definitely that extra confidence today.
It's great to see him getting a good run of games after his long stint out injured. It's not easy coming back from an ACL. Patrick Dato, we know about his quality. He's been quality for over a decade. Played for the national team, played in the top tier of Philippine footballs, played around in the region, in Thailand. He's a great player here for Kaya. He's had a few bumps this season. That is to be expected, especially coming from a difficult injury like that. But it's great for him to be getting a consistent run to get his confidence back.
And with this chat and goalkeepers, we do know the role is magnified, so mistakes can be costly. It's a tough role, of course. Someone's got to do it in every team.
Again, yep, you gotta have a particular personality and character to thrive in that role.
Forward ball. Zambrano will distribute quickly. And it came off our referee, John Mike Basinang. In this instance, I know they resume with a drop ball. And the old laws of the game, about 8 years back or so, the referees parted the field of play. If it hits him, okay. Follow the ball wherever it goes.
It's a bit unfortunate for Kaya. It looked like the counter was on.
I know we're here in the middle And in the upper section of the grandstand, kitang-kita yung facial reaction ni Brandon Zambrano nung panahon na yan. And then it's Kira Yamamoto giving this up to Marco Casambre. Kaya just sucking the wind out of the sails in this game, and that favors them. And while we're at it, talking about the national team, there's the upcoming FIFA international window, or the calendar, or the international break. The Philippines will figure in a Tri-Nations series with Guam and Myanmar.
Great to see the national team back in action here in the Philippines against some teams that we should be able to beat. At least in terms of the rankings, we have quite the step on them. You hope that it'll be a good reason for the fans to come out and just enjoy a bit of good football, national team football here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium.
From what we saw online, those games are set to be played right here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. Later in the year, there is also the ASEAN Men's Championship, where the Philippines will be playing also with fellow ASEAN rivals. There is also the FIFA ASEAN Cup. We were seeing in the news the likes of China and Hong Kong will even be joining.
China?
Interesting. Quite a high-ranked team, when you recall. Offside is the call against Gibrila.
Malaking bagay yung mga competition na yan para sa national team natin, especially since we failed to qualify for the Asian Cup. These are the tournaments that really matter for us at the moment.
It's all about getting those reps in, as we know. And when you say reps, it is international friendlies. Players is learning the system of their coach. In this situation, of the men's team, is Coach Carlos Cuadrat. Mirror back to the middle. It was Tete who was eventually able to get that ball. Eso gifted it away. Nano surrounded. Casambre even held on to him for a while. Peña. Yamamoto. There's also Palpalatok as the release valve. Went for it here, but it's wide.
It's better from Aguilas. Starting to cause a bit more of a problem for Kaya to advance from their back line.
In comes Tomoki Fujihira, and Bukit calls it a day from what I'm seeing. He got to play about 68 minutes. Tomoki will look to add that energy on the wing.
He's had a decent run today. Bukit provides that energy on that left flank. They just need a bit more of a finished product here as they chase this match.
Amida versus Malumanzoko. One of the shortest versus one of the tallest.
He's already made an impact here, Arnel Amita. You can see just his quality on the ball. He's able to bring in his teammates into the final third.
This was out already here. By the time it went to Mirbach, from the looks of it, just knocked it to the side just to delay any hopes of a quick throw in. Joben Bedik and Shuto Komaki appear to be done their respective warm-ups. They're poised to enter this game. That's set to be finalized, of course. Mirbach, his shin guard flying along with that clearance. We got to talk about Maikot, about the need for him to step up in this game if they want to search or get a cushion. But who else will provide the scoring for the Aguilas in this situation? We mentioned Diallo, he's on the bench and possibly has an injury. Ibrahim Adamu, their second leading scorer, has 6 in this season. He was subbed off. You have Pickering, Talarok, and Tete, who have 3 goals each to their respective names. And Tete is playing as center back. Well, when they did score against Digger, Tete moved up because it was a free kick. That's how the situation is lined up for our two teams.
They've exhausted all of their substitutions now, Aguilas. And so it's going to need to come from the players on the pitch at the moment.
Flag stays down, but I beg your pardon, it was eventually raised for Martini Ray. He would have liked to make it 2 for himself personally.
It's a good attempt had he stayed on. But here come the substitutions for Kaya.
Let's take a look at this play of Martini. Offside was the final decision of our referee, or our assistant referee.
It's a like-for-like change here for Kaya. It's going to be Komaki for Mirabak and Barotac Nuevo for Barotac Nuevo. Bedic for Martini Ray.
Still quite a shift for Martini, as much as he came close to adding a second goal to his name and to his team's tally. Mirabak just takes his sweet time also, given the circumstances. And you have a fresh Shuto Komaki. He's often a shoe-in starter for Kaya. But what more with him playing as a sub? He could just flip the momentum of this game.
I definitely expect more creation now from the wings. Shuto Komaki is an extremely tricky player to mark. He occupies very clever positions. And not only is he good one-on-one, but he is very good at combining with his teammates.
With that ability again to go one-on-one. As you've mentioned in Kaya's last game. Shuto will somewhat use his individual ability and then he'll give it up to a teammate. But first, there's some defending to do for Kaya. Yamamoto! Hit the crossbar!
What an opportunity, what a hit. It's a great strike. Patrick Dato rooted to the spot. Was forced to become a spectator on that one, and it was so close to finding the back of the net.
They were left ball watching, as you've said, on the other side. It becomes 2-0 just like that. What a spell. And Shuto Komaki channeling the Martini Ray in him, copying a celebration we can now tag as race. We talked about him. Shuto, as a sub, he'll give you problems.
That could be it, Claro. A half-hearted flying kick from Shuto Komaki, but that could be the nail in the coffin. So close from the Aguilas, but on the opposite side, just like this, Bedic doing fantastically well to set up Jan Meliza, who put in the final touch into Shuto Komaki. This is exactly what they needed, just a bit of dynamism in their attack, and Bedic delivering the goods as he sets Meliza free, and Komaki occupying the perfect position to tap that one home.
The impact there from Joven Bedic and Shuto Komaki, subs who checked in. And I was just going to say, with Yamamoto hitting the upright, Tato left ball watching. He thought that was out. Kaya just dodged the bullet. I'm sorry, but it's as if they just pushed the reflect button. They scored immediately on the other end. That's why it's 2-0, thanks to Shuto.
That's where you have to be careful. Yes, Kaya haven't been at their emphatic best this evening. However, they still have that capability to turn things on. Villarreal getting a taste of his own medicine there from Joven Bidik.
You beat me to saying it.
Matagal na magkakilala ang dalawang players na yan.
You do know Joven can be the enforcer also, as much as he's an upfront player or an attacking player.
It just comes with a bit more subtlety, Joven Bidik.
Hindi masyadong halata. That's how you put it that way. Not too obvious. Interesting stuff. Komaki got to intercept this ball wide to Palpalato. It will be a throw-in. Yamamoto.
Ball on the pitch.
But in that instance, it's offside from the looks of it. Against Aguilas UMAK, they have their work cut out. 40 minutes in stoppage time remaining, and you could say that Kaya are closing in on avenging their defeat to the Aguilas, which was just last month. Beto to resume this, of course. Take some time off the clock also. And Shuto being a super sub, the reason why we say he could be very dangerous. Tandaan nga natin, he's our reigning Golden Ball winner, or MVP as some call it. Melisa versus Kalukaran. De Paula got it to JV. Can he slither his way through? Do you just boot the ball long in this instance, Jane? Because it's gifted away. Now it's Ott. The rebound came off of Joven and went back to Shiraoka.
Gotta be careful. Giving the ball away to Kaya inside your final third. Quick to pounce, and they've added a bit of a bite all of a sudden with Bidik on the pitch.
There is also that reason why, or the intent on why the Aguilas are stringing passes at the back in hopes of building up bit by bit. Not just the old school kick and run. Here's Ott. He's been able to influence the game as of late. Clever here. But unfortunately, it's too good to be true because the flag is raised for Casambre.
It's just gone a bit early, but already you see parang ibang Kaya ang nakikita natin dito in the last 5-10 minutes. The injection of Komaki and Joven Bidik has really changed things up for them.
And with this impending result again, Kaya will move up to provisional third place with 45 points as compared to the 43 of Cebu FC. Provisional because Cebu with a game on hand. Crosses overplayed, but it's still with Amita. He'll take on Casambre. Marca the victor here as he delays that, but concedes a corner.
Some great work here. Forcing the stop. And Joven Bidik would have been a bit disappointed. He wasn't able to turn that one in. It's been a masterclass from him since coming on, Joven Bidik. The way he's controlled the ball, the way he's held up play, the way he's gotten his teammates into dangerous positions, and the way he's occupied the center backs of Aguilas.
And to think he's just recently inserted into this game. Well, that's still the right word to describe the impact of Joven, because that play where he was involved, where Shuta Komaki eventually got to score. Goal number 7 for Shuto Komaki in this season. Let's remember, Martini Ray broke the ice earlier to make it 1-0. Talk about luck though for the Aguilas. Kira Yamamoto hitting the crossbar.
And that was how close we were to having this game change completely. That ball goes into the back of the net. This dynamic of the match is far from what we're seeing. And then Kaya go down the opposite end and score a goal to get their cushion. And that reinforces their lead here. And the result likely to go one way. But if had Aguilas scored there, you would think they could have a shot to get all 3 points.
Because what goes in the minds, of course, in any sportsman or athlete, there's the what if. What if I did this? What if I did that? What if that went in? Kaya obviously wouldn't be able to score because play will be stopped to kick off once more. Here comes Maikot. Got to slow it down.
Wow.
And it's a big 3-0. Joven Bedic burying it and adding on to that masterclass of his that you already proclaimed with his very limited minutes.
He deserves that, Joven Bedic. And Mike Ott providing the assist as well. Clinical from this side. All of a sudden, not only are they in front, but they are in command, in control. They are dominating Aguilas.
Game, set, match with Bedic burying it. Kaishu Yamazaki as that playmaking center back setting up Maikot. Ott just shifting to a pedestrian pace in that instance, but he obviously knew what he was doing.
And that's what you gotta love. Players with experience, players with that quality. Hindi sila nagmamadali. Kasi hinihintay nila yung teammates nila mapunta sa tamang lugar. And Ott here had a look over his shoulder, knew exactly where Joven was going to be. And simple as that, pinasa niya lang sa loob ng goal.
3-0. You could argue game, set, match. Peña just wide, but Data Soto's already out. He did not make the lunge for it.
Substitution for Kaya FC ILOILO. Player number 10,
Data chasing his 4th clean sheet of the season. And if he bags it in that instance, he will be tied to the likes of Henry Bandic and Mike Asong and Kenry Balobo when it comes to individual clean sheets. That's at joint number 5. It was a team effort for Kaya. Tough to decipher who is the potential man of the match if we had our personal picks.
Yeah, there's been moments for some of the players. No really clear standout for me.
Or do you say it's Coach Yu Hoshide because they called the subs that made an impact? Yamamoto cut it back. And the Aguilas get what could be a potential lifeline. And this is a Kuya younger brother-like moment. I know they grew up in the same area. Peña and Dato.
That's a true veteran here, Patrick Dato. Not allowing Aguilas to get this game restarted quickly. And such is the respect of the players of Aguilas that they did not force the issue with him. But no clean sheet for Patrick Dato.
And I had no intentions, of course, with the commentator's curse. We're just spitting out the facts and the numbers we have.
Kasalanan mo to, klaro.
No, it's not. Ay, kaya nga tawag commentator's curse now. Oh no. Anyway, play resumes.
There's a well-worked goal, by the way, from Aguilas. Getting to the byline, cutting it back. Justin Peña in a good position, making the run into the box. That's what you want from your midfielders.
with that now, we'll try to bring it up once more. But unfortunately, the Aguilas are whistled for a call. I'll get back to that now. So right after Justin Peña got the score, they two picked it up. The two pushed each other. Isang tulak lang galing kay Peña. That was the respect you're talking about. Just backed off. It's called choosing your battles, if I'm right.
Patrick Data carries a bit of an aura. You see the Aguilas players did not want a piece of it. They probably feel also that, you know, 2 more goals is, you know, it's a bit of a long shot, but hey, they've found a way back here. They got to give it everything they've got at this point. You never know.
Because we just mentioned earlier, when it was 3-0, that's arguably game, set, match, because you have a massive cushion when you can even come as unassailable. This is championship round football, Jing. The fans also getting into it here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. All part of the game.
Lovely move.
So Moki got to break free for a moment, but it was cleared up by Tayo Toyoda, his compatriot. Peña. And as much as we say this is an uphill task, if the Aguilas some way, somehow bag another goal, intensity will go through the roof. Kaya just trying to ice this one now. Dodong Villarreal trying to do the opposite. Failed though, unfortunately, in that instance. Shuto's calling for it. He wants this one. And denied by Shiraoka. Clearly on target though from Pomaki. 3-1 is the score again. Justin Peña, the goal scorer for Aguilas UMAK, and for Kaya, you have Martini Ray, Shuto Komaki, and Jovin Bidik. You're catching the Philippines Football League action on our YouTube channel. While you're at it, give us a follow on Instagram and on Facebook. Claro Manzano here alongside Jing Hamblang. I believe with the community, our panel predictions, some came close. They may have predicted 2-1 Kaya. That's 3-1 in this instance. Shiraoka returns this to Kalukaran. Less than 2 minutes remaining now until we will head over to stoppage time. It's a triple header again on this fine Saturday, on a warm and rainy Saturday. Komaki just with that hustle again, with him coming on as a super sub. As we've said, Jing, lahat ng mga laro ngayong araw, mabigat.
And this one delivering. Kaya getting their way back into the top 3. And of course, mamaya, one tigig. Napakalaking oportunidad na makuha ang panalo. And hopefully to be able, for them, you know, they're going to be hoping that they're able to get back level on points with Manila Digger, who dropped points earlier against Dynamic Herb Cebu.
And that is the next game that we have in store for us. As Mike Ott had a shot on target, did not appear to get a great touch. He's been scoreless for some time. As much as Ott is an attacking midfielder, you expect a lot of offense from him, whether it be scoring or assisting. We are about to get confirmation of our allotted minutes for stoppage time. 4 minutes, as confirmed by referee Jesus Abogado.
Yeah, as expected, not a lot. There haven't been many stoppages in this game. I like this. They should get the ball into the box.
Fujihira. It's no good. Bidik to launch this wave. You have Mike Ott leading things up front. Shuto on the other side. He thought he was going to go for it. Ott got to slip through. But there was the desperate clearance from the Aguilas. Chibrila. Eric Esso with his hands up saying he did not do anything there.
That's what he does best. He's so good at disrupting play, Eric Esso.
Seems like he fell into that silent operator mode again for today, as much as he's had to step up for Kaya's midfield as of late.
Yep, he does the dirty work. And sometimes you don't notice it, that's how good he is. But they needed Komaki to enter the game to create a bit more creativity on the pitch. You can see how quickly things changed with him and Bidik. Out there for Coach Yu Hoshide. What seemed a bit flat all of a sudden became much more lively.
The Aguilas defense also looking very shaky, not just in that last instance, but as of late.
What's been interesting as well is Mike Ott is not a substitute, but all of a sudden you see him out there on the pitch. And because of the inclusion of Bidik and Komaki, biglang nagiging involved siya sa laro. Kasi alam nila kung paano i-activate si Mike Ott. So these dynamics on the pitch are very important.
And there is also that fresh legs to just attract some attention away from Mike Ott himself. It's only a matter of time now until this result is confirmed. The Aguilas are able to spoil the clean sheet bid of Kaya FC and Dato. De Paula flooring Casambre. Oh, it's the left ankle that might be bothering Marco. Play resumed quickly. The Aguilas want a goal here to bag a moral victory. Peña, he has that lone goal here for the team in white. De Paula just sends this one over the bar.
In a way, this match encapsulates Kaya over the course of the season. You know, they've gotten victory here, but not in the classic way that we've come to expect from them, where they overpower the opposition by sheer pressure. They've waited quite some time before able to transform this match, and they've been unable to keep a clean sheet, which has been a symptom throughout the season. And before, there was a time where scoring against Kaya was virtually impossible.
Or an absolute novelty.
And these days, it's becoming more of a regularity.
That's what came with the unbeaten run of Kaya, which ended last year. Clean sheets here and there. But nonetheless, they are closing in on an additional 3 points to add to their bag. We are also 30 seconds past the allocated 4 minutes of stoppage time. Your goal scorers again. You've got Martini Ray, Shuto Komaki, and Joven Bidik. The last two there, all off the bench. Virtually an instant impact in that moment. Justin Peña with the lone goal of the Aguilas. And being true competitors, if you're the losing side, obviously you're disappointed, but if you're able to score in losses, that's still something you can take away. Bugas also in that return from injury, just like Nano Amita. Villarreal over to Tete. This ball is just gifted away, and it was a difficult evening for the Aguilas. But it is a superb performance for Kaya FC Iloilo. 3-1. And there's a point in time again where they led 3-0. And Kaya now bagging the number 3 spot provisionally again. There's still something for them as they pile up the pressure over Cebu, who have a match on hand. But Kaya back to winning ways against a top 6 team. And something or somewhere they struggled as of late. And there you go. That's the momentum that they've been looking for.
They've gotten revenge against the Aguilas, who beat them in the second round. And they did it with a better scoreline than what they suffered against them. They turned it on in the second half, the substitutes making the impact that was necessary. And in the end, they got the job done. It was their veteran, Joven Bidig, unlocking things. And their MVP, former Golden Ball winner, Shuto Komaki, switching things up and changing the dynamic of the game. It was a nice consolation for Aguilas in the end, but ultimately it was a well-deserved victory for Kaya FC Iloilo, and you hope it'll be a start of better things to come for them in this championship round.
And as we know, Kaya with that very small window of being able to fight for the title. If they're gonna go down, at least they'll go down swinging and playing with that maximum effort of theirs as they fight for pride. And Maikot here, just delivering the assist. He got involved in this instance. When you talk about Maikot, that was the moment they made it 3-0. And a clean sheet spoiled of Kaya. Kira Yamamoto finding Peña. Well, you have to feel for the Aguilas and Yamamoto, because he hit the woodwork, tandaan nga natin, right before Shuto made it 2-0.
It could have been a very different game, but ultimately the team that deserved to win picked up the 3 points. Kaya just a bit too much for Aguilas on this evening, and the numbers will back that up.
2 yellow cards, all of them in the first half. And 6 offsides for Kaya, but that did not seem like the case because of the way they were able to stay fluid and they played the game to their pace, which was the key point for them, as we pointed out pre-game.
Yep, they dictated the tempo. They never really gave Aguilas an opportunity to get into the game. And there were no big transitions, not a lot of chaos, and they removed the opportunities for Aguilas to thrive in those situations.
But there you go, that does it for this match. Alongside Jeng Hamlang, this was Clara Manzano, and it ends 3 for Kaya FC Iloilo over the 1 of Aguilas UMAK. We'll send it to Natasha down on the pitch, who is with our man of the match. And as we always say, we are PFL.
Congrats on the win. Janjan, what can you say about how crucial is it for Kaya FC to finally get a win again today?
Parang sa ano na lang kasi sabi sa amin ng coach namin is let's enjoy this game kahit anong result na lang, no, para maging outcome namin kahit hindi kami mag-champion ngayon this season, pero magpipinish kami ng strong. Yung target namin is 5 games walang lose.
And then what has been your mindset, your personal mindset coming into these games, and how can you end the season strong?
My mindset is like win lagi kasi ilang games na rin kami na natalo sa kanila, parang inisip namin na kailangan namin makabawi, makapanalo man lang bago matapos yung season na to, na strong kami. Yan.
What do you think were the key elements in getting the win over Aguilas?
It's like maybe the motivation of the players, the gutom sila manalo. Parang ilang beses na kami na wala pang panalo, kaya mindset talaga namin ngayon is more to win, get that 5 games, but unlucky ways draw against Stallion. So the remaining games we need to win that game.
As someone who has played in the PFL for such a long time, what can you say about this season and the tournament format na may championship round na, forcing the players to play longer amount of games?
Very excited, no? Very excitement ang yung game kasi parang mapoforce talaga yung league na mag step up katulad sa ibang bansa na the more game, more experience yung mga players.
And lastly, what is your message to the fans out there?
To all the Filipino fans, no, hindi lang sa nagnonood ng mga football, no, at sana suportahan niyo po lagi yung Philippines. Sana makanood kayo ng live dito kasi sobrang saya. Kung maka-experience sana kayo, nandito kayo sa Rizal, more excited.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you po.
Pass for the goalkeeper, putting himself under pressure. It's the opener. Halike, will he take it? What a goal! Halike! And it's a goal. Bottom left corner. Opportunity for Philippine Army, and it is an equalizer. Fantastic goal. It's free on the right side, looking for the cross. Beto, and it's a goal for Want the Gig. Yoga takes it straight to the goal. First blood drawn. Could easily be pulled back, but here's Aristorenas, no offside. Aristorenas makes it two.
Mirback needs that one from Malunsoko. Shoots, and they double the lead.
Yamaguchi! What a hit!
There's an attacking chance, and the Aguilas slip it in.
Pangalan mo kanilang tinitilian.